Hello, perceptive Scorpio. July 20th, 2026 carries a quieter kind of momentum, one that asks less for immediate answers and more for honest observation. Beneath the surface of today's experiences, you may begin noticing patterns that have been present for much longer than you realized. This is an ideal moment to pause, reflect, and reconnect with the part of yourself that sees beyond appearances. Whether through a few moments of silence, writing your thoughts down, or simply sitting with your emotions, give yourself permission to listen before you decide. The atmosphere surrounding you suggests that an important inner shift is already underway, like standing beside deep water that slowly reveals what lies beneath. Today's energy invites you to welcome change with curiosity, instead of resistance. If certain relationships seem to be growing quieter or more distant, try not to see this as a sign of failure. Sometimes people step back because they are navigating struggles that belong to their own journey, and allowing them space may create room for greater honesty later on. One of today's greatest strengths is your ability to sense what isn't being spoken. At times, intuition and fear can sound remarkably similar, and part of your growth now comes from learning to tell the difference. Notice the conversations that linger in your mind, the unexpected encounters that spark reflection, and the emotions that refuse to be ignored. These subtle moments may reveal more than dramatic events ever could, pointing you toward a deeper understanding of yourself and the direction you're meant to explore. Rather than rushing to resolve every uncertainty, allow life to unfold one thoughtful decision at a time. Solitude can become a place where your confidence quietly rebuilds, while genuine kindness from others reminds you that meaningful connections are never forced. Even situations that seem unsettled today may simply be rearranging themselves into something more authentic. Every challenge has the potential to reshape your perspective, helping you move forward with greater wisdom, emotional balance, and trust in your own judgment. Receive this reading as a source of reflection rather than absolute certainty. Not every message will match your circumstances today, because every person is walking through a different chapter of life. If something speaks to your heart, keep it close. If another part doesn't resonate yet, allow it to pass without forcing meaning. The choices you make, the boundaries you set, and the perspective you cultivate remain far more influential than any prediction. Thank you for spending this moment with me once again. In today's reading, we'll explore the energies surrounding your relationships, career, finances, health, and family life. Before we continue, I'd like to share today's symbolic guidance. If this reading brings you clarity or encouragement, I'd truly appreciate your support with a like, as it helps these reflections continue reaching those who may need them. For today, the symbolic numbers are 8 and 17. Gentle reminders of resilience, renewal, and the quiet strength that grows through experience. If they stand out to you during the day, let them simply serve as meaningful reminders to stay present and intentional. Your symbolic color is deep burgundy, a shade often associated with inner strength, emotional depth, and calm determination. Wearing it or surrounding yourself with it can become a simple personal ritual that reminds you to remain grounded. If recent events have tested your patience, remember that difficult seasons rarely last forever. What feels delayed may actually be giving you time to build a stronger foundation before moving forward. Continue acting with conviction rather than reacting to temporary frustration. No one else can define your path better than you can, and your greatest progress will come from responding thoughtfully instead of allowing uncertainty to make your decisions. There may come a time when you look back on this period and realize it was never about proving yourself to others. It was about discovering the quiet confidence that had been growing within you all along. Stay steady, stay observant. Let each experience teach you something valuable instead of pulling you away from your center. You may also find yourself wondering about someone's true feelings. Perhaps you questioned whether an emotional connection was genuine, or whether hope had carried you further than reality. Instead of expecting dramatic revelations, today's energy suggests something more meaningful. A sincere conversation, an honest admission, or a simple act of consistency may offer the reassurance you've been waiting for. Often, the deepest confirmations arrive quietly, and when they do, they have a remarkable way of restoring trust in both another person and yourself. The emotional current that once felt stalled is beginning to move again. almost so gently that you may not recognize the shift at first. This isn't the kind of day that asks you to make life-changing decisions overnight. Instead, it offers quiet confirmation that something meaningful is taking shape beneath the surface. A sincere conversation, a consistent effort, or an unexpected moment of honesty may remind you that genuine connections are built through trust rather than urgency. You've expressed more than you realize through your patience, your actions, and even your silence. Without forcing outcomes or demanding certainty, you've allowed situations to unfold at their own pace, and that openness has not gone unnoticed. There is a sense that hidden currents are beginning to respond to the intentions you've carried with quiet conviction. Rather than chasing signs everywhere you look, pay attention to the subtle moments that bring unexpected clarity, because they often reveal more than dramatic events. Today's symbolic energy encourages transformation across several areas of your life, particularly your relationships, your ambitions, and your sense of inner balance. The more honestly you acknowledge what no longer serves you, the easier it becomes to recognize the opportunities quietly emerging in front of you. Growth is not arriving because circumstances suddenly became perfect. It is happening because your perspective is becoming stronger, calmer, and more grounded than it was before. The Magician stands at the heart of today's reflection, not as a promise that everything will magically fall into place, but as a reminder that your greatest resources already exist within you. Your perception, resilience, determination, and emotional intelligence are beginning to work together instead of pulling in different directions. Scorpio often possesses remarkable depth, and today that depth becomes an advantage when it is directed toward creating rather than simply protecting. What once felt impossible may begin to feel achievable because you've changed the way you approach it. Whether you're nurturing an important relationship or preparing to begin something entirely new, your willingness to act with intention matters more than perfect timing. You may notice meaningful coincidences, conversations that arrive at exactly the right moment, or opportunities that seem connected by invisible threads. Rather than seeing these moments as guarantees, allow them to encourage your confidence and remind you to remain open to possibilities you may not have considered before. Justice appears as another powerful symbol, inviting you to trust the value of patience and integrity. Situations that once felt delayed may now begin finding their natural balance, not because life suddenly changed its mind, but because the timing is finally aligning with the lessons you've been learning. Recognition, agreements, or personal milestones may begin developing in ways that feel both earned and lasting. There is comfort in knowing that steady effort often creates stronger foundations than hurried success. The Lovers brings attention to relationships that are ready to grow through honesty rather than idealization. If someone meaningful enters your life or a familiar connection begins to deepen, the invitation is to meet it with openness while remaining true to yourself. Lasting bonds are rarely built through perfection. They grow through mutual respect, emotional maturity, and the willingness to understand one another beyond appearances. The Star follows with a quieter message of renewal. After periods of uncertainty or emotional exhaustion, your spirit benefits from moments of rest, reflection, and simple routines that restore your sense of balance. Healing doesn't always arrive through dramatic breakthroughs. Sometimes it begins the moment you stop carrying burdens that were never yours to hold. Every experience you've endured has strengthened your capacity to move forward with greater wisdom and compassion toward yourself. Taken together, these symbols suggest that the transformation you've been searching for is already unfolding through the choices you make each day. Rather than waiting for life to change around you, you're beginning to recognize how much has already changed within you. That realization becomes the foundation upon which future opportunities can grow. As for your health, your body may be asking for a little more attention than usual. You could be dealing with temporary fatigue or the early signs of a mild seasonal illness, and while it may not be serious, it deserves care rather than neglect. Stay hydrated, allow yourself adequate rest, and if discomfort persists or becomes more intense, don't hesitate to seek guidance from a qualified medical professional. Listening to your body early often prevents small concerns from becoming larger ones. In your professional life, you may occasionally feel that your ideas are being overlooked or that your contributions haven't yet received the recognition they deserve. Try not to interpret this as a measure of your value. Some of your strongest ideas may simply require the right environment and timing to flourish. Continue refining your skills, observing carefully, and building experience, because today's quiet preparation often becomes tomorrow's visible achievement. Stepping beyond familiar territory naturally brings moments of uncertainty, but it also expands your confidence in ways comfort never can. Even if your workplace feels unsettled, or those around you seem distracted by change, your consistency remains one of your greatest strengths. Focus on doing your work with care rather than becoming absorbed in the surrounding noise. If you're preparing for a new opportunity, learning a different skill, or working toward an important examination or interview, keep practicing with patience. Every lesson you master now strengthens the foundation for the future you're working to create. Whether you're already established in your career or searching for your next opportunity, today's energy encourages you to keep moving forward with confidence. Even if the pace feels slower than you expected, trust that meaningful progress is rarely measured by speed alone. If you're preparing for interviews or exploring a new direction, your ideas may come across with greater clarity than they have in the past. The knowledge you've gained through recent experiences is beginning to shape the way you present yourself, allowing others to recognize strengths that may have gone unnoticed before. You may also find yourself speaking with greater confidence because your experiences have given your perspective more depth and authenticity. Every step you take now becomes part of a much larger process of growth, one that is preparing you not only for your next opportunity, but also for greater responsibility when it arrives. Financially, this is a time to pay close attention to opportunities that develop quietly rather than dramatically. A conversation, a new project, or an unexpected proposal could reveal possibilities that align with the stability you've been working toward. Some opportunities may not appear impressive at first glance, yet they could hold long-term value that only becomes clear with careful observation. Scorpio often has a natural instinct for recognizing what holds genuine value beneath the surface. And today that instinct becomes one of your greatest advantages. Instead of rushing into every opportunity, choose the ones that reflect your long-term vision, rather than temporary excitement. Decisions made with patience now are far more likely to support the future you're trying to build. Progress may arrive through decisions that seem small at first, but gradually reshape your future. The effort you've invested over time has not been wasted, even if visible results have taken longer than expected. It's easy to underestimate the impact of consistent work when change happens gradually, but lasting transformation often unfolds quietly before it becomes obvious. Celebrate every milestone, no matter how modest it appears, because lasting success is rarely built in a single moment. Each thoughtful choice strengthens the foundation beneath everything you hope to create, making future achievements more stable and sustainable. Your relationship with money may also benefit from releasing old beliefs rooted in fear or limitation. When you stop measuring every possibility through past disappointments, you create room to recognize opportunities that previously seemed invisible. Sometimes the greatest shift doesn't come from earning more, but from trusting yourself to make wiser decisions with what you already have. Maintaining a calm and optimistic outlook doesn't guarantee immediate results, but it helps you make clearer decisions when opportunities appear. Over time, this balanced perspective can lead to greater confidence and a stronger sense of financial security, allowing you to approach future choices from a place of abundance rather than uncertainty. In matters of the heart, this period invites honesty, patience, and emotional commitment. If you're in a relationship, you and your partner may be discovering that real closeness is strengthened through shared responsibility rather than grand declarations. The quiet moments of listening, supporting one another, and facing everyday challenges together often reveal the true depth of a relationship, far more than dramatic expressions ever could. Some plans may need a little more time before they fully come together, particularly if they involve major financial commitments or significant life changes. Delaying an important decision today doesn't mean abandoning it. It may simply allow stronger foundations to develop first, giving both of you greater confidence in the future you're creating together. If you're considering a major investment as a couple, whether it's building a home, moving forward with a shared financial goal, or making another significant commitment, it may be wise to move thoughtfully instead of quickly. Taking extra time to discuss expectations and practical details now can prevent unnecessary stress later. At the same time, smaller opportunities to improve your financial position could prove surprisingly valuable. Additional income, a side project, or a practical skill may provide greater flexibility while you continue preparing for larger milestones. Temporary delays don't diminish genuine love. They often strengthen it through shared patience, mutual understanding, and the confidence that you're building something designed to last. For those already building a life together, the path ahead may ask for mutual understanding more than immediate results. Whether you're discussing marriage, expanding your family, or planning your future, remember that meaningful commitments grow stronger when both people move forward with clarity instead of pressure. Every honest conversation becomes another brick in the foundation of your relationship, reinforcing trust one decision at a time. The emotional investment you make today becomes part of the relationship you're creating for years to come, shaping not only what you build together, but also how you support one another through future seasons of change. If you're single, you may occasionally wonder whether anyone truly understands the depth of what you're looking for. Rather than assuming every connection will lead to disappointment, consider that the right people often appear when you become clearer about your own values. This period encourages you to approach new connections with curiosity rather than expectation, allowing people to reveal who they truly are over time. There's no need to force relationships simply to avoid being alone. As your confidence continues to grow, you'll naturally recognize the people who appreciate your authenticity rather than expecting you to become someone else. The more comfortable you become with your own path, the easier it becomes to recognize those who are genuinely meant to walk beside you. Family life brings opportunities to reconnect through understanding and shared experiences. Conversations that once felt difficult may become easier as everyone begins seeing situations from a broader perspective. Time has a way of softening old misunderstandings when people are willing to listen with greater compassion than before. Your calm presence has the ability to create stability during moments of transition, encouraging those around you to feel supported without needing every problem to be solved immediately. Sometimes your greatest contribution is simply creating an environment where honesty feels safe, allowing others to speak openly without fear of judgment. This period also favors rebuilding relationships that have quietly carried unresolved tension. Small acts of kindness, patient listening, and genuine appreciation can accomplish far more than dramatic attempts to fix everything at once. Healing often happens through repeated moments of consistency rather than one life-changing conversation. As each person continues growing in their own way, mutual respect becomes the bridge that strengthens your connections. Home becomes less about perfection and more about creating a place where everyone feels accepted, understood, and encouraged to become their most authentic selves. As renewal continues unfolding, you'll likely notice that the strength you've developed within yourself naturally influences those around you. Your steady approach may quietly inspire friends, family members, or colleagues who are navigating challenges of their own. Optimism becomes less about expecting everything to go perfectly and more about trusting your ability to navigate whatever comes next. The relationships that matter most grow stronger through consistency, compassion, and shared experiences, reminding you that some of life's greatest transformations begin quietly, one thoughtful choice at a time. As you continue moving forward with patience and intention, you'll discover that the future you've been working toward isn't created through one extraordinary moment, but through the countless intentional decisions that shape your life day after day. As you move through today, your energy feels steady rather than overwhelming, and that may be exactly what you need. Not every season calls for constant action, and not every meaningful step has to be dramatic to carry lasting significance. There are days when quiet consistency accomplishes more than relentless effort, and this feels like one of those moments. Sometimes your greatest strength comes from remaining centered while the world around you shifts, allowing events to unfold without feeling compelled to control every outcome. You become more skilled at protecting your peace, instead of allowing every outside circumstance to dictate how you feel. and that quiet stability is something worth recognizing. It reflects a deeper confidence that has been developing beneath the surface, shaped by experiences that taught you when to engage and when to simply observe. Of course, there are still moments when familiar patterns try to pull you backward. You may find yourself facing lessons you've encountered before, wondering why they have returned or why certain emotions seem to revisit you just when you believed they were behind you. Yet these situations are rarely exact repetitions. More often, they offer an opportunity to respond from the person you become rather than the person you once were. Each time you choose greater awareness instead of old habits, you prove to yourself that growth is taking place. Progress isn't measured by never stumbling. It is measured by how differently you rise each time you do, carrying a little more wisdom and a little less fear than before. One quality that deserves your attention today is your ability to remain hopeful without ignoring reality. Optimism doesn't require pretending that everything is easy, nor does it ask you to overlook genuine challenges. It simply means believing that today's difficulties don't have the final word and that every season eventually reveals its purpose. Like deep water that settles after being disturbed, your mind becomes clearer when you resist the urge to react immediately and instead allow your emotions to find their natural balance. Once the surface becomes still, you're often able to notice possibilities that anxiety had previously hidden from view. That doesn't mean frustration never visits you. Everyone reaches moments when emotions feel too heavy to carry quietly, and sometimes expressing those feelings honestly is healthier than suppressing them. The important question isn't whether you become frustrated, but where you choose to direct that energy once it arises. When released with awareness instead of impulse, even difficult emotions can become the beginning of healthier boundaries and wiser decisions. What initially feels like tension may ultimately reveal something important about your needs, your limits, or the changes you've quietly known were necessary all along. One area worth watching is impatience. Interestingly, you're often willing to invest tremendous time in the goals you truly believe in, yet uncertainty can tempt you to rush through experiences that still require learning. It's natural to want answers before every piece has fallen into place, especially when you're eager to move towards something meaningful. Today's reminder is simple. Confidence grows strongest when it is supported by preparation. Give yourself permission to develop your skills without expecting instant mastery, because every lesson you embrace now strengthens your future choices. The patience you practice today becomes part of the resilience you rely on when greater opportunities arrive. Take gentle care of your physical well-being as well. If you rely heavily on highly caffeinated or other stimulating beverages to keep yourself moving, this may be a good opportunity to notice how they affect your energy and overall balance. Sometimes what feels like increased productivity is actually masking the need for deeper rest and recovery. Small adjustments in your daily habits can create meaningful improvements over time, helping you maintain steadier energy throughout the day instead of constantly chasing short bursts of motivation. Caring for yourself consistently is far more powerful than searching for quick solutions whenever exhaustion appears, because lasting vitality is built through simple choices repeated with intention. For those who are studying or preparing for important examinations, patience remains one of your greatest allies. You may feel eager to reach the finish line, but lasting success is built through steady effort rather than last-minute pressure. Every chapter you review, every mistake you correct, and every concept you revisit is quietly strengthening your confidence, even if the progress feels slow from day to day. Trust that every hour spent learning, practicing, and refining your understanding is preparing you for opportunities that extend well beyond a single test. The discipline you cultivate now becomes part of the person you're becoming, shaping habits that will continue serving you long after this particular challenge has passed. In your interactions today, you may find particularly supportive connections with Gemini and Aries. Conversations with Gemini could flow more naturally than expected, opening space for fresh perspectives, shared ideas, and a welcome sense of understanding. A discussion that begins casually may unexpectedly leave you with a valuable insight or a new way of approaching something that has been occupying your thoughts. Aries, meanwhile, may inspire productive discussions about future plans, practical goals, or new initiatives that encourage forward movement. Their willingness to take action can complement your thoughtful approach, creating a balanced exchange of ideas. Rather than viewing compatibility as certainty, think of these encounters as invitations to exchange energy, learn from one another, and strengthen meaningful connections through openness and mutual respect. Scorpio, thank you for sharing this time with me and allowing these reflections to become part of your day. I hope these thoughts have offered not only encouragement, but also a quiet moment to reconnect with your own inner wisdom. If today's reading brought you clarity, comfort, or a new perspective, I'd truly appreciate your support by leaving a like. If you'd like to continue exploring these daily reflections together, I invite you to subscribe and turn on notifications so we can keep sharing this journey, one day and one insight at a time. Thank you for your trust, your presence, and the openness you bring each time you listen. Your willingness to pause, reflect, and consider these messages is what gives them meaning beyond the words themselves. I hope today offers you moments of quiet insight, steady confidence, meaningful connections, and the courage to keep moving forward one thoughtful step at a time. May you carry that sense of renewal with you wherever the day leads next, allowing each experience to deepen your understanding of yourself and the path that continues unfolding before you.